Apprentice-ish, where we talk all about apprentices, apprenticeships, kind of. I don't know about any other apprentice, but I am always short for time. And since I've been implementing these tips, I have found them to be very helpful. Without further ado, let's get right into the video. I've split the video up into 3 sections: electronic tools, physical tools, and other tools. So if you want to skip around, you can check the timestamps in the description below. First of all, we're gonna do other tools. So these are like non-traditional things that maybe you hadn't really thought about, but might actually really help you manage your time as an apprentice. The first tool is boundaries. Okay, you may be doing too much. Not only are you a president of a society, a family member, a friend, a committed club member, you may also be having 10 different social pages, 5 different side hustles. You're trying to be the new Bill Gates when your apprenticeship generally doesn't tend to have the time to manage all of those. Having boundaries, especially in terms of yourself, managing yourself, so boundaries in work, boundaries at home, boundaries in relationships, it's just super important. And the reason why I say that this helps save time is because then you're able to structure things in a more efficient way. If you implement effective boundaries in activities that you don't really need to spend so much time on, I think that can be a real time saver.
Hi, this is Future Leaks here. I'm editing the video, and I just wanted to add something onto the boundaries point. I think managing expectations is really helpful. It helps to relieve the pressure that you might have or feel towards managing relationships and friendships and all that kind of stuff. So I think just communicating to your friends and family, this is a particularly intense period of your life. It might be exam season or something like that. So I would just encourage you, instead of, trying to meet all of these unrealistic expectations that you may have set for yourself, it can just be easier to communicate to the people around you or whoever's involved that now is just super busy and you can't.
Another thing is managing expectations. And the reason why I put this as another tool is because I have felt social exhaustion. I just find it very tiring to consistently interact with my community on a daily basis, for example. So I really had to cut that down because not only did I not have the time, but also my energy was super low, trying to meet up with everyone all the time. And managing expectation not only it takes the pressure off of you, but it also allows your community to understand that this period, I still love you, but I just have to show you love in a different way. Do you get what I mean? Something it's okay to not go somewhere. It's okay to miss a function because you genuinely just want to rest, protect your peace at all costs. Or overworking. I think especially if you've recently started your apprenticeship, even if you're in a new department, to be honest, being able to communicate, what your expectations are or what your real capacity or workload or strength is. If you can't do a task, then just say it. Coupling the boundaries with the managing expectations basically allows you to interact with people in a way that you may not have been able to have the confidence to do so before. So for example, I'm an avid worker, I can't lie. And now my community is very aware that I do love you, but I can't attend everything. And in addition to that, I don't want to. I really enjoy my rest in peace. And that's what I'm about to do. Whoa! Another tool that helped me save time is taking care of yourself. I think having a much more refreshed, energetic, fed, not starving or exhausted version of yourself just means that you're able to tackle tasks far more efficiently than you would have if you didn't. I have been burnt out before. I've overworked myself regularly, and I always find, especially now, I'm in my time of resting, okay? Especially now that I have been resting, that I actually have just so much more energy to run with energy and vim after everything that I have to be running after. So those are my 3 other tools. The next things are the physical tools. So the first one is always having a mini notebook with me when I'm studying or working. I think this really depends on how your brain works, but for the most part, when I'm going to do a work session or a study session, different things just pop up in my brain oh my God, did I even do this? Did I forget to tell this person that? You just write it down in the notebook, because task switching really reduces your productivity level, or even just your focus. Like doing one task to another task to another task, like your focus is not sharp enough in order to like carry out the task effectively. So just having like a mini notebook has been really helpful to not have my mind jumping all over the place. The next thing, and I guess this is another real personal preference, but understand how you take in information and just use that, like, well, not just use that, but use that as your main source of how you operate as a person. Like,
honey, okay, if you work best with a pen and a paper, use a pen and a paper.
And integrate that into into work as well as study. Like, even though sometimes, I'm not even gonna lie to you, it's way easier to just copy and paste information and like have your notes online. But if you genuinely don't understand, and it's just so, I'm
leaning forward because I need you to hear me.
If it's so much easier to write with a pen and with a paper and you understand it in that way, don't fight yourself. Like, literally just work in a way that works best for you. And I always say that about everything, including the apprenticeship. Like, you have to choose the route that's best suited for you. The next one is making your productivity portable. So you don't want to only be able to do things when you're at a desk or when you're at home. Like, you might want to be able to say, for example, you have a longer commute. Your commute might be an hour. And if you want to rest, then rest. And I love that for you, because we will be twinning. But if you want to work, that's also fine. And I think it's something that had really saved me time when I was working and studying full time on both parts. So this is not the apprenticeship. When I went to night uni and when I was studying full time, I had to like make my notes portable, and I was reading on the train and I was taking notes on the train as well. But I did it in a way that was like not too, like, I didn't need a whole desk set up. Any which way you can, like, make your work portable. Obviously confidentiality. I would probably say make your studies as portable as possible. That might look like having a tablet with you on the train or the bus. That might look like having physical flashcards or a flashcard app on your phone to like go over different pieces of information from your content, if that's, you know, helpful. Even typing out coursework. Like, honestly, you just need to do what works for you. And the 3 electronic tools that I have are, number 1, do not disturb. There is no thing in this world that cannot wait 1 hour or 30 minutes if like whatever your study set is. Nothing in this world can wait. You can even set your DND, guys, to only have certain people call through. So if it is, and when they call or whatever, like they text or whatever, the first thing you ask, don't hello, hi, is this an emergency? No, can I call you back in an hour? 9 times out of 10 they'll say yes. Okay, if they're trying to bother you and you tell them they're studying, leave it alone. Your screen time is telling you how much time you could be studying or working. Okay, you could, at the same time, you could distribute that into other spaces. And it kind of contradicts you, because I genuinely do believe that sometimes you need to procrastinate. Like, your brain needs breaks to think and to breathe and to just exist as a human being. So it's not productivity 100% of the time. It's just not realistic. You know what I mean? But I do think that you can probably shift the time that you use being distracted or multitasking. If you just put DND on, it would just solve a lot of the problems. And also, there's a setting on most phones that you can stop the use of like all other apps. So you might want to use that as well. The next one is using an effective way to note take. I kind of mentioned that previously, but just making sure that you have an effective organization technique for your notes, whether it be physical, whether it be in person. Some people like to use Notion, Documents, Evernote, all those kinds of applications to just organize things. If you have a physical folder like me, I'm sending you all my love. We are twinning, and I love that for us. Okay. The next one and the final one, which is, I just would be very surprised if you're not using this already, calendars. And like, I don't mean just putting in things when, you have like a meeting or a social or a gathering. I'm talking about pre-planning the tasks that you want to do. So when you have, I don't know how you guys organize your time, but if you were to have like a list of tasks that you need to complete that week, literally putting those tasks in your calendar. So everything has a slot, everything has a time. And so when someone asks you, are you available on Sunday at 2? Okay, but you haven't finished any of your tasks that week. Meow. So if you schedule that in, the answer is no. Okay. I don't know, these are just like a few time management tips that I use, and I find them to be very effective when I remember to use them. But I hope you guys have enjoyed this video. Thank you so much for watching, and I cannot wait to see you in the next one. Apprenticeship.